Hello everybody, welcome to Racing in Assetto Corsa with subscribers. We're hosting some Assetto because it's the best. The best! It is the best. Das best. We've got our own server. And we've got a radical. That's all you need. Once you've got that, you've won. We've radicalised everything. Got some Road America. What more could you possibly want? Maybe aircon if you live in the UK. The normal. Hello for fellow. We can try and do a Nordschleifer. Probably better doing it with the Porsche RSR. We are, absolutely. Well, Assetto Corsa with an SR3 is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Controversial car choice. It's a car brand that's not famous. It's a car, you know. Who knows what a radical is? It's easy to handle in oversteer. It doesn't have ABS or TC, so pretty much a problem, you know. Also, hosting servers on the oldest simulator, one of the oldest simulators, an out-of-date simulator as well. This is RF3. One of, if not the oldest. I mean, obviously, if this was so realistic, obviously everyone would be playing it, right? Because it'd be weird for sim racers that are supposedly playing games for realism to ignore the most realistic game. That'd be strange, wouldn't it? If you had a game, if someone made a simulator that basically gave you every car and every track in the world, and that you drive incredibly naturally, that directly transferred to real life, you know, if it was actually realistic, obviously everyone would play it, wouldn't they? Because that's what sim racers want. We were playing we were playing Evo last night, actually. And it's really weird, like how muted it is in handling. We've just been playing iRacing and setting up force feedback with the Porsche Cup and some other stuff in iRacing. So, I mean, Evo's definitely better than iRacing, but it's just weird how muted it is. Update's not come out forever yet. I was just playing the old version, so I know what the differences are when they update it. But it is weird because Evo is super easy to drive. We're driving the Porsche Cup car at Laguna Seca and Donington, and it's so easy, which is good. But then it's weirdly dull. And actually, also Evo, you have to drive Evo like iRacing, but it's just more forgiving. But it's the same driving process as ACC. And what it is, I've nailed it. I've nailed it down. It's the balanced combined slip component. That's the crux of Race Room, AMS1 and AC, is the holding of combined slip at the limit. And that's what's missing in iRacing. Well, it's in one direction in iRacing, so it's kind of there, but it's in one direction. And in Evo and ACC, it's in one direction. But it's quite interesting. And I also think that is what, with the force feedback, that is what you're noticing in the force feedback, in terms of the force feedback communicating where the limit is, because combined slip has a very specific feel in the force feedback because the car's balanced, and so you have that lightness feeling, which is very analogous to in a real car when you actually when a real car's balanced at the limit in combined slip. There's that very satisfying sense that the car can be rotated very easily on the steering wheel and the pedals, because all the tyres are just on the edge of peak grip, so it's actually the most manoeuvrable state the car can be in a sense, and that's why that has that specific rotational feeling. So I've not heard anybody else talk about that. Hello, Jack. So how's it going, man? You would have thought a real driver would have mentioned that kind of stuff, as it's the crux of driving a car. Oh no, it's because you're doing well. It's good. Yeah, it's annoying, but you're doing well. It's pretty good. It's a good sign. What I ended up doing, all I've done is I've blocked all links, and then certain phrases and keys that the bots tend to use. If you take the text from the bot spam stuff and put that into a blocker, certain phrases that normal people don't ever make. Well, you think it's someone in... Ah, oh, no, he's worked out. It's me. You think it's another, like an influencer or something? Or a company, you're saying? Specific company. It's probably Lawrence. It's Lawrence de Soswa. He's a shifty guy. He tried to put poison in my salad. Yeah, we're going to Gamescom and we're going to Sim Racing Expo. Wait, is it? You're saying it's an influencer that's doing it? Do you think it's an influencer or a company? It's Daniel Morad. Morad's been getting attacked on Reddit again. Ace Pumpkin, in your opinion, do you need a DD or is T500 good enough? Oh, come on, Jaxo, just say. Nobody cares. Company or influencer? It's good. It's good drama. You can get even more views. You'll get more people be like, oh, why are they attacking this person? It's great. This is your route to 1 million. You need to play Gran Turismo next. Sorted. To play some console games. I hope that Project Motor Racing takes off. A DD wheel, T500 DD wheel. Well, a T500, I never really liked it. They're all good enough. they're all good enough. To be honest, but DD wheel definitely feels a lot better than a T500. Oh, it was me, wasn't it? I've tried cancelling Jacksaw. It's not worked though. I report all his videos. You gave out about the time model. You don't have to. What did people say in the chat? You don't have to. I'm quite happy for you. I want you to be successful. You had 2 seconds, lost 2 seconds. Tell yourself you blamed the time mod. Oh no, dangerous territory. Watch out. Be careful. You're playing with plutonium. It's like the demon core of sim racing. That. You have to do the thing. You have to go, wow, you know, it's subjective. I prefer this simulator. All the simulators are good. They're all different. iRacing is just unforgiving. You know, other simulators are too forgiving. It's the demon core of sim racing, using that spanner to lift it up, and then if you do what I do, you slip. I see you've irradiated yourself and your colleagues, so you're better off just avoiding it. Hello, Chad Head. It's interesting. It is interesting in terms of blaming the thing you're doing, or blaming yourself, or blaming other people. I was talking to some other people that were doing doing sports stuff in real life, and sports people blame the thing that they're doing. Of all the people I asked, they blame the thing that they're doing. They don't blame. They obviously are frustrated with themselves, but they blame the the mountain bike or whatever, or their equipment and stuff, right? Even though it might actually be like that's in reality, and sure, it's obviously going to be part of it is their skill, obviously, or their fitness and stuff. But it's weird. In that scenario, it definitely is the individual's fault, right? Because reality is reality. You know, it is what it is. But they blame. It's actually healthier. It's healthier to blame the bike or something, right? It's healthier because you know that it was your fault, but you're like, well, and you know what you can improve and not improve, but you blame in reality, and that reality has surprised you, right? If you're going to blame anything, because how is it productive taking it out on yourself? Like you direct your negative energy towards the inanimate object, right? It's productive. It's good. It's like if you stub your toe, you get annoyed with the door, right? That's good. And because you productively think how you can do better, but in terms of blame and frustration, you direct frustration at an inanimate. It's a proxy, because those emotions are irrational, so you're not going to be able to. You might as well direct them at something that's it. No, so you're mixing up the two things. This is what people often do. You identify the problem that you've done. It's not so you direct the emotion. The frustration is directed at the inanimate. The productive, pragmatic, critical thinking is directed at yourself. That's the key, because if someone gets emotionally angry at themselves, it's not going to be productive. You as long as you identify the problem, and as long as you work out on how to improve it. Yeah, but that's why you're terrible at everything. Like, the only thing you're good at are things that you're naturally good at. The only things that you're really good at are things that you were blessed by God at being good at, because you haven't directed your frustration correctly. That's what that is. So, you know. Well, there you go, and that's it, and that's why you keep doing it. Because if you blamed the dishwasher and then thought to yourself, God, why am I not changing what I'm doing? You would stop doing it. See, I could save you like emotional torment here. I blame iRacing for everything. Anything that happens, British economy, iRacing's fault. Starts raining, iRacing's tyre model. Has it ruined sim racing? It's in a position of being the most popular thing whilst being really bad in fundamentals, and there's allowed, and rather than real drivers that can bring attention to racing sims and get people into them have ended up using iRacing and have brought more people to iRacing, whereas maybe they would have brought during COVID, maybe they would have brought them to other games that had better handling. Look at this. Can we make it to the finish line? I don't think we can get up the hill. I think every game is individual. The way it tends to work is that each game has its own user base and they have their own individual view, and it's just based on that video game. So they're not, people playing that video game are not actually looking, on average, are not looking outside of that video game. So they're limited in with that. They're limited inside of that framework. So it's what you see with, like, it's what humans do with everything. So like Christians that go to a specific church see the world within the framework of what's relevant to that specific church, and then they frame everything within that, and they see everything outside of that as outside of that and not really daily relevant to them. It depends on the church and the thing, but like, or like with video games, it's like so right now with Battlefield 6, the players of Battlefield 6 don't, a large chunk of them are just playing that game as it is, and that is now what Battlefield is. So the fact that it's not got any large maps in the beta, the fact that the gameplay is very similar to Call of Duty in terms of the spawning, the pacing, and what's going on. Still quite different from Call of Duty if you nitpick, but from a wider view, it's much closer to Call of Duty than Battlefield, right? But they're just happy with what that is, and they will call that Battlefield, and then everything will work within the context that they're presented, because most people don't compare outside of the specific context bubble that they're operating within. Like with economics, let's go from Battlefield to economics. People that are operating within the traditional financial models cannot operate within the context of MMT. They don't. It's outside their bubble. They can't. They can't get at it. It's like I said, they're aware that something else exists, but it's kind of irrelevant, you know. But humans do this with everything. It's kind of like if you go to a restaurant, it's like an Indian restaurant. This is for like logistic reasons. You go to Gymkhana in London, it'll all be Indian food. If someone was to suggest, this korma would be better if it had this other thing in it, it'd be outside of the context framework of an Indian restaurant with Indian music and all that stuff. It'd be really confusing for people. So that sometimes having a specific context bubble or framing isn't necessarily terrible, because arbitrarily selecting themes like a specific genre of music or like music, food, whatever, and then putting it in a bubble, that can be quite nice as an experience to be in that at any one point in time, because your human brains are never able to think about everything and compare everything at the same time, unless you're on like acid or something. So humans enjoy being in little bubbles, but the issue isn't the bubbles. The issue is when someone is in a bubble at all times and is not receptive to anything that's external to that bubble, or they can't acknowledge it at all. So when it comes to racing simulators like iRacing, people are in that bubble and the majority of them they don't have enough free time, obviously, because driving sims take up a lot of time. They have enough free time to look out of that bubble, and so however that works is how that works, and they've just accepted it. It's not them being like fundamentalist to iRacing either. It's exactly the same like me with flight sim, for example. I would really enjoy DCS, but I just can't be asked to do all the menus and set up all my controls with it. But I know it flies better and plays better than Flight Sim 2020, and has combat and stuff in it. It's objectively a better video game in terms of stuff you can do, actual physics, you know. But I literally just can't be bothered to load it up. So that's a huge thing with Sims, because they're so complicated, and that's a big part of iRacing, is that people are just in it, and that's enough for them to try and get their heads around, because they don't have enough time to learn the physics of each sim or get used to set the wheels up with them, right? But then this is the problem is, when you have someone like Microsoft Flight Sim, there's like the leader in Flight Simulator in terms of numbers due to advertising and their positioning. And if you have someone like iRacing that's the leader in racing sims on the PC, like realistic racing sims, it's the responsibility of that developer to make sure that they don't have shit physics, right? Because they should themselves feel like they are in a position of responsibility. I mean, they're a business, so they just want to make as much money as possible. But there will be people working there, obviously, that also want to make a realistic sim. They put a lot of work into it. But then you have inside of the company structures, you have certain people that have more power than other people, and those people will define what's acceptable and what isn't acceptable. But yeah, ultimately, you are, as a general consumer, you are dependent on the popular thing happening to have been run by someone or somebody that knows what the right thing to do is, and that's the crux of it all. And unfortunately, with iRacing, they're totally happy to have cars that don't have balance slip and have super weird tire model. And even where they supposedly fix it, it's gaslighting, because they genuinely haven't. With the GT3 cars, it's got exactly the same physics issues. T in capital letters is the password. But then, separate to that, YouTubers, reviewers and influencers and real race drivers have a responsibility to be honest and not just repeat the marketing, and to say, yeah, iRacing still have not addressed the fundamental tire model issue, because they haven't. You shouldn't not mention that or obfuscate it purely for your own benefit as an influencer or race driver to sell people products. So that's a problem as well. So there you go. That's it. That's the quick answer to that. Did you enjoy that, guys? That was games design, bubbles of design, game design philosophy. Lecture 1, year 1. It's that'll be £3,000 tuition fee, and I promise you guys, getting a degree in games design is going to be really good. It's going to be really good, guys. Totally worth the investment. And don't worry, it's not real money. We're just going to take your student loan back as a tax into the future. And you only have to pay it back when you earn £35,000, just at the point in time when you're going to need the money to be able to afford your rent, to be able to do the job. There's not a very good job that you don't really want to be doing, but you're desperate for the money to be able to afford the rent in a place that's too expensive, because that's the only place which has the jobs that you actually want to do. Oh dear. I do sponsored stuff, man. I tend to do like one-off sponsored projects with people. So I've done sponsored stuff with iRacing. I've done sponsored stuff with Rensport. Did a sponsored thing for, there's that what's it called? Like that endurance game. Not I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, I do sponsor stuff. I tend to keep it limited to individual projects though, and then I can be like, you know, it's gonna be really clear. It's like this video is a sponsored video. Oh yeah, the Mercedes GT3 thing. You know, I'll be like, it's this thing is very obviously sponsored. You know, that's the type of stuff I do, because I feel that works quite well. Oh, I did a mod mic sponsorship last year, and mod mic's awesome. I actually just like them. That's why we still use mod mic. I've been using them for years. They're really good. Good, small Canadian company. Oh, Iron 8 water bottles. Yeah, well, that wasn't really a sponsorship. They just sent me some 3 bottles with an affiliate link. Well, I don't think I would become huge doing iRacing. You could do iRacing only and only be positive, but I would have come to it too late anyway. Like, so let's say I went into, I guess, okay, so in 2011, if I'd only done iRacing and been really positive, then we could probably have like 300 live viewers on Twitch or something. But the videos would probably do quite similar to what I do now, because YouTube videos are different in terms of how they get promoted relative to like live streaming is a whole different beast. So I don't think it would have made too much difference for videos. The thing to do, if I'd done Gran Turismo and only ever really said positive stuff about it from the get-go, that's a good way to make a lot of money. So like Jimmy Broadbent's a good example of that. Steven, Super GT, Iris. It's a good example of how, if you can, no, I'm not saying it's easy, you'd still have to be good at what you do, but if I'd just done Counter-Strike, it's that gets you a bigger audience. The key thing would be to build a bigger audience using a popular game and then transfer that audience to sim racing. So this is what Jimmy Broadbent did really well. Did the Gran Turismo, played Gran Turismo, got popular in the Gran Turismo space, through him having a really good story. He's really good at live streaming, his videos are good, he's really good at what he does. So he gets that Gran Turismo audience and then does the sim racing stuff, and then the people in the sim racing space, they're just like, oh look, there's so many views and what a popular channel, it's really good. All the businesses are like, well, it's the biggest sim racing YouTuber, and so then you leverage the audience from one thing to another thing. I'm not saying that's easy, because it's actually really hard. It's really hard to transfer audiences. So I'm not saying it's just a case that you build an audience and transfer them over. That's actually very difficult to do. Like, there's loads of examples of people that have built up an audience with Gran Turismo, but then they play PC sims and none of the audience want to watch it at all. You know, or like another example is that you have people that do really good sim racing content and they struggle to get audience on their real world driving stuff. So I'm not saying that's an easy thing, but that is is something you can do if you've got a good personality and you could say it's probably the optimal thing to be doing. But yeah, I mean, you could see with even so, Chris Hay is a good example of him doing really good sim videos that people really like to watch, and then he would do a really well edited real world video that's very similar style to his sim stuff, and in many ways more interesting, and actual real world footage, and the view numbers would be terrible, purely because the audience is built within a specific bubble in a specific niche, and they don't necessarily want to transfer over. Yeah, I've done the obvious thing of getting sim races into techno. Yeah. If Moser and Sim Magic are giving you equipment to use, that is the only equipment you will advise to use. Not really, no. I mean, if someone's got over 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, they could get any steering wheel or any pedal from any company in sim racing for free. So it doesn't really work like that. It's a common misconception that people think that like that you have like you have partnerships and stuff. So like Steve Super GT's partnered with Simagic. Jimmy Broadbent's partnered with Moser, so he I don't think he, as part of his contract, he probably can't use other wheels. And you get paid a lot of money for doing that, but that's different to if you're sent items to review. So people like me and Random Call Sign or Will Ford, Boosted Media, that any live streamer that has over like 100 live viewers consistently, or 200 live viewers, could probably get any equipment, because it's good marketing for the businesses. So they would just choose what they want to use. Smaller streamers are probably more susceptible to being like, a company might go, oh, we'll let you, we will give you equipment, but you can only use our equipment. And the smaller streamer will just be like, okay, and then they'll accept it because, well, they're a small streamer, so they're just really grateful for it. I mean, I'm grateful for it as a medium-sized channel, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Malone's partnered with Assetto. But I think that can work quite well if you're someone that doesn't really do reviews, which Malone doesn't really do reviews, and you do like especially entertainment. Yeah, if you're a sort of entertainment streamer, then a partnership I think is a good strategy, good thing to do. Assetto is good as well, and I think it's a good fit for Matt Malone, and I think it's a good fit for Assetto. Yeah, the whole Matt Malone Assetto thing I think is win-win, because obviously Matt Malone's got children and lives in America, so you have to. It's a lot riskier to try and do full-time sim racing. Well, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat room. Sorry. Oh. Go on. Oh, I'm last now. I was reading the chat room. Well, this is we're a really small channel. It's just the reality. I like that though. I don't think that's not a bad thing. Gaming channel. So in the sim racing space, someone like Super GT or Jimmy seems like a big channel. I mean, they are. I'd say they're successful. I think if you've got over 1 million subs, that is really, really good. But in the general gaming space and overall YouTube space, what would be like big YouTube channels would be like KSI and that sort of stuff, like the FIFA channels. Sim racing and even racing games like Gran Turismo is actually relatively small. In motorsport is quite small as well on the grand scheme of things. So it's, again, people think of stuff inside specific bubbles. ACC cancelled. Yeah, exactly, Days of Blunder. You remember when you'd have like a LAN party and a hardware company would sponsor with like a poster, some keychains. Congratulations, the winner has won a branded mouse mat. Woo! Exactly, in terms of sim racing they're big, but in terms of, yeah. Because racing is, compared to FPS, it's tiny. A good example is when I do like Counter-Strike videos back in the day, a bad video would get 32 to 100,000 views, right? In sim racing, a bad video will get like 2,000 views. And a good video will get like 50 to 200,000 views. So it's just a much smaller niche. Yeah, James Baldwin's... Jimmy's not that fast at real driving. I don't think he's slow either. I think he's good. He's a lot better than me. Whereas James Baldwin is like, should be a Formula driver, basically. Like, James Baldwin has been shafted due to the stupidity of motorsport. James Baldwin is like, if you can win, if you can beat, like pretty much all esports drivers at top level, or be in the top 5 in multiple simulators over a long period of time, it's like someone having to be like in the top 5 of Fortnite, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Tetris. Do you know what I mean? It's like you would have to... It's ridiculous. So, yeah, James Baldwin has been completely shafted by how dumb the motorsport industry is. Like, he deserves to be a recognised driver, basically. Imagine if someone like James Baldwin had the funding to do go-karting from the age of like 9, he'd probably be a Formula 1 driver. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be on a par potentially with someone like Max Verstappen, or, you know, at least Russell or one of these other drivers. But they, you know, it's all money. The whole thing is money. Yeah, also, it's so dumb, like, whenever he's done stuff in real life, it's like on such a limited time scale that he would have to adapt with such smaller, like, higher stakes and less time than the bulk of the other drivers there. So it's so stacked and unfair. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Whereas Jimmy, I don't think is a bad driver, but I think Jimmy would be the equivalent of like a good, you know, like a good pay driver, if that makes sense. I don't think he claims otherwise, you know. I think Jimmy is a lot better than what you'd expect from your average YouTuber gamer turned race driver, though, for sure. So I think he's a lot better than I would be if I had the same amount of time driving as Jimmy. Well, for a start, he's fitter than me. And he has hair. You can't race drive as a bald person. It's not allowed. Also, Jimmy's he's way posher than me. He's proper southern. I know all the successful bold drivers are from like the 1940s and 50s. Lewis Hamilton is probably the most successful bold race driver. Bold in denial. There you go. Yeah. Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton are the two most successful bold drivers. They should embrace it. fine. They should do whatever they want to do. Oh yeah, Bottas is a pretty nice shiny. Oh, Robert Kubica, of course. He's got a proper bold head, and he's probably one of the best drivers to have ever lived. So, you know, Robert Kubica. I don't know how to say his name. He's a legend, forever in our hearts, and he drives with one hand, so even more talented. He would have been days of blunder. Kubica had a shit car, and he was easily better than other drivers on the grid. He actually attacked and actually overtook and actually drove. So why do you hate driving the Radical? Because you need to learn how to drive. Yeah, so Kubica had so it was when Schumacher had the shit car as well, and you could just see from his driving and his racecraft, he was on another. It was Schumacher, Kubica. There was another driver on the grid. Can't remember who it was, but they would actually, whenever there's a safety car, you could see the drivers that had racecraft skill because of the way they positioned their vehicle and got passes from the safety car, only for it to be irrelevant because of the stupid tyre rubbish that was going on. So, again, we were stolen the ability to see really talented drivers thanks to the design of Formula One. Yeah, smaller cars, no DRS, and they need to be fixed back. They need to do 2 races. The sprint race needs to be with like an F2 car or fixed spec, and then the big race can be with the manufacturer. So you have the drivers' championship with a fixed spec car, and you have the manufacturers' championship with the whatever the Formula One car is. It's, that's what they actually need to do. Will Fraser with the win. Federico second. Mohammed third. Well done, guys. I'm just going to change server here. Change track. Great driving there. Sorry for driving into the ass of someone there. Didn't mean to do that. I was too busy reading the chat room. Filled up the server pretty quick there, which is good. So, server's gamer muscle, password is T in capital letters. Someone will ask. They always do. They always do. There's no way around it. They can't help themselves. Right, sit. Hang on. Server's not up. I clicked the wrong thing. Server's up now. It's just loading. Get in there. No, we always make it Norge. This is where it's at. 2-lap Norge race. I'm first in the server. You guys are slow. I already won the server joining race. Get Ched Dead's in here. Courier's life is getting in there. He's going to cycle round it. That's all he knows. Funny how much this is the Assetto Corsa version of the track, right? It looks so much more detailed than iRacing's. It's ridiculous. It's the same mesh though. it's the same mesh. Like Nordschleifer licenses the mesh to people. Which is really handy because you learn it in one sim and it's absolutely identical, apart from like the curbing heights. No iRacing today. We did 7 hours of iRacing this morning. Well, from 9 PM yesterday till 5 AM we did iRacing. We live in a simulator, Jake. It's why I find it offensive when I see people wearing those shirts or they have those logos. They're like, eat, sleep, sim racing, repeat. It's like, bollocks, do you? Absolutely bollocks. How dare you? They don't. They're pretenders. I've not seen another person on this earth ruin their life to the degree that I have with racing simulators. There just isn't. Nobody's dumb enough to do that. Okay, dead. Let's move the brake bars a bit further back. You sand 32 grit toilet paper, yeah, you missed it all. Maximum dumb. Yeah, unfortunately, like, what? I've forgotten how to drive, guys. Sadly, it probably is the case that we are one of the most experienced sim racers. I'm not good. I imagine that in terms of talent, there'll be lots of esports sim racers that are a lot better, a lot more talented. I've had a lot more productive time playing driving sims, but in terms of like time spent, life wasted on multiple simulators, I think we're probably up there. Like, it would be very hard to compete with it because you would have to be someone whose full-time job was sim racing, and maybe like live streaming. So it'd be really hard to compete, and then pretty much all those people that do that it's iRacing only. So like Daniel Gray has a lot of hours. Quirk has a lot of hours. Yeah, most YouTubers don't. So it'd be like Twitch live streamers, but the ones that have the hours are iRacers basically. No, but I played it this morning before I went to bed, before I had a nap. It's terrible, Yoko. I was like, right, I'm gonna try playing it differently. You know, I'm gonna play it. I'm just gonna see what the best way to play it is. I'm gonna stay back. I'm gonna attack and do it. And it is genuinely the best way to play it is to run around like a complete tit, because otherwise you get shot in the ass by people that spawn behind you that you can't account for. Oh my goodness, it's such a bad game to actually play. Maybe on big maps it'll be alright, but the guns are actually not too bad though. Once you put attachments on them. I had a nap and woke up, yeah, a bit ago. Once you put attachments on the guns, the gunfiring is not too bad. But it's just it's the spawning is insane on those maps. Stop people spawning all over the place. No, it's better than 2042 but it's pretty similar. 2042 had the issue of it being a cluster, but they're pointless parts of the map to move across that didn't make any sense. Yeah, it plays like a watered down Call of Duty, basically. It plays like a bad Battlefield and a bad Call of Duty. And the thing is, they only have 3 big maps in the final game. It's like, well, hang on. The whole point of Battlefield, like, Battlefield, it's not Battle Yard, is it? It's not called Battle Tennis Court. It's called Battlefield. Like, I mean, I don't know. House prices are expensive, so maybe in their mind fields are small these days. I don't know. Bloody hell. Okay, I think this setup's a bit loose. Let's not use this setup. So that's an esports setup. Have I got a setup already? We could get this set up and then tweak the rear of it. It's really open diff. Don't want it. You have to drive that like iRacing. Hot Spud Potato Racer. Has anybody got a setup for this car? Then we could these people just upload. Pretty good. Do we trust them? People don't put their lap times in the thing. More the time in the inventory, yeah. But spending your time in the forums is really the pure gamer move. Let's try this. Let's see what's going on here with the. It's probably the rear wing too low, and then the diff is too open. Diff coast is too open on that setup. That's how you exit the pit. Warm up the pit walls. The new one in Automobilista 2 is the best looking Nords. This is good though. And what have they done with the gearing on this car? What is it with people that create setups? Doing weird shit with them. People create terrible setups. What? What's my wheel doing? Oh no. Wheel's gone mental. We need a good setup for this. These are fundamentally garbage setups. Old Greek, not yet, no. I don't know why they haven't. see what's going on here. It's having enough rear wing and a diff settings, and then the suspension also being too stiff on the Nordschleifer is a big problem. In AC, oh my goodness. How am I supposed to do? I'm going to turn the force feedback off. Ow, ow, ow. Ah, there we go. Ow! Bloody hell. How did you break your arm as well? Try to hold on to my wheel. It should be fixable. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's weird, but then the problem with these active pedals is that it's quite hard to get rid of that graininess feel from them. This is a thing that people don't like about the Simucube pedal. So it's a compromise, like, it's great that you can position them and do a whole bunch of stuff, but then as soon as you want to get rid of the graininess that comes from using the worm gear or the helical gearing or whatever, or the motor, so I think it's just very tricky to do, to get it. The way I use the pedal, it feels great, but I have it set up so it's barely moving, so it's kind of... The value of the active pedal for me is more just that I can have it vibrate from the pedal itself for certain things and ABS and stuff. I can switch from driving sim to flight sim rudder pedal feel, which is quite nice. Hey, this setup's better. It's driving like a car. Oh yeah, and then if you're driving different types of vehicle and stuff, but... Ah, this is much better setup. Well, it depends what you like. I like I quite like a hard brake pedal with a sort of pretty sturdy feel to it. But then but making that moderately sensitive gets me good precision of input. This setup is 1,000 times better than the other one. I'll share this setup. Skill issue, Jake. You should just be pushing the brake pedal based off feel though, and based off how you want to rotate the car. I think I know you're just talking about as an example, but there's a common thing in sim racing where people fixate. Again, this is another problem with driver coaches and these bloody videos on like braking and stuff. They're not, the information is not wrong in the videos necessarily, but what ends up happening is you end up with people going, oh, my brake trace should look like this spike and this thing and no overlap and XYZ, right? And it's like, yeah, that should be the end result that occurs when you are driving as fast. It shouldn't be that you try to do tight braking and accelerator and match the input of the pedals to the graph. It should be you learn how to drive a car quickly by balancing the vehicle and driving the line as quick as possible and balancing at the limit and getting on the throttle as quickly as possible whilst balancing the car, and inevitably you will end up doing braking and accelerating traces that look like that, right? It's back to front. It's totally back to front, and it's what people fixate on because it's the visual component that a driver coach or YouTube video producer can point out and go, look, here is what's right and here's what's wrong. Buy my tutorials, use my affiliate links. I'm such a helpful person. I'm coaching you. And it's completely nothing to do with me building up an ego.
The pace car is out of control.
You know. But I do think a lot of the people doing driver coaching actually are trying to help people. So, you know.
Greets from Dortmund.
Hello from Dortmund. Oh, I hope you're the really beautiful girl I met on the plane from Dortmund. Probably isn't. Keller Gabowski from Dortmund. No, it's not her. Dope. T-Pigs tea bags are good, they're just very expensive. I need to increase my field of view a touch. We've got it on really low here. I'll share this setup, guys, because this is pretty stable. We should probably do this as a fixed setup. It's probably not the fastest, but it's easily drivable. The server's called Yoko doesn't know how to use a steering wheel. How to get the most out of coach? Well, no, because I don't have an authority, so people would ignore it. I just tell people directly, but I'm not like a real race driver. I'm not crazy fast. I'm not like an esports person, and I haven't uploaded 300 how to do the most inane basic driving videos to create a narrative of me being a driver coach, right? So, and that's more important than the information. It's the context of who's presenting the information. So it's like a university. You have absolute shit lecturers that are totally awful and useless, but they're in a university building. So, well, they're teaching you. It's like art. This art is complete shit. Oh, it's in the Tate Modern, though, so it's art. But what about this amazing work this builder did, or this wall, or this painting someone happened to draw, this photograph someone just took? No, sorry, that's not in a building that's painted white. So it's not real art and not worth anything commercially, or worth having books written about it particularly. Unless it's pretentiously highly focused books on graffiti and street art, in which case then it's okay. But someone has to point it out in a book. Cynicism levels to 100. Not everything is terrible, guys. Look, Yoko, stop being a penis. You don't even have a wheel. You need the game installed. Yoko doesn't even have Assetto Corsa, guys. Yoko can barely play Counter-Strike 2. That requires all 4 of his brain cells. He's like, yeah, right, you'd need to set up AC. You'd need to set up shader patch. It's too complicated for you, Yoko. You'll never work it out. You have to complete Mr. Riven first. Bloody hell, suspension in AC is mental. Yes. But don't use the obvious mode of transport of flying on those bird things, because that would be too easy and would ruin the whole film. You have to walk over all the hills. Despite being a particularly small species that would be perfect to be carried by the giant birds that exist, you have to walk over all the hills facing loads of dangers. Obviously. Controller racists. Well, technically they're not, because they're using steering wheels, so they're not controller racist. You're the controller racist. You're the one that wants to drive with a gamepad. I think you should unsubscribe. You need to cancel the membership as well. No, OBS is disconnected and is back. Yeah, but I would beat James Baldwin with the dance mat. If we had to 1v1, dance mat versus steering wheel, I'd have him. I don't think he can handle a dance mat. I bet you I could beat James Baldwin at a medium difficulty DDR level for sure. No way could he beat me. So, I think I could beat James Baldwin at Point Blank, the light gun game, easy. I bet he's shit at that. He's too young. He never will have played light gun games properly. And, yeah, I could beat him at light gun games. That's about it, really. And Dance Dance Revolution, though he would beat me after probably like the second level because his fitness would be a lot better than mine. So, but I mean, light gun games are much more important than racing games, really. Like, do you know what I mean? Controller records are impossible to beat on a wheel. It's probably because you can instantly push into the corner and then you get magic grip. Well, Max, we had to go. Sorry, we had to go. You were too slow. You had plenty of time. the track closed down. Motorcyclists crashed into the wall and they had to be airlifted. So it's just, it happens. It's an Nordschleifer. So let that be a lesson to complete your laps faster.
Okay, let's go.
This is a race, yeah. This is where you get a lot of cars starting at the same time, and they have to try and finish in front of each other. And that is called a race. It's quite a popular way to. Oh, here we go. I've got the server moderation on my other screen, right? And all I see is just red lights flashing from all the car contacts. My whole screen just turned red. I'm like Charlie Whiting. It's like the bank was being robbed. Laser trigger sensor activated. Crash with environment. Crash with environment. Bloody hell. Ah, look at these guys aero boying. You disgust me. Absolutely disgusting. T-Cat, store-bar. Look at them. This is what we have to do, fix setup. Samir, thank you.
For negative and honest reviews.
Thank
Early
you.
access, no complaint.
Early access, no complain. Appreciate the tea bags there, thanks. Wunderbar. Zandung. Well, this track looks pretty wet. I think we need to red flag the race. Oh, bit of a... almost an iRacing moment there. Oh, who's crashed? Red. Mohammed Rimmer. Ace Rimmer. Oh my god, Chedhead. Okay, there's been death. Looks like a nightclub display when you guys all crash. Bloody hell. These guys are aero boying. We've got too much downforce. Cheddar everywhere. Moist. Nice. Right, this is disgraceful. We need a fixed setup for this. It's a shame you can't just set a fixed setup when you're in the server, like lock it whilst you're racing. Put the wind to like gale force side on. The cars should be pushed to the on their sides from the wind. I could add ballast to them, but I'd have to use my mouse. We use a remote server. I can't remember what hosting we're doing. Pay £15 a month. I don't use it enough. We need to host more races to justify the server expenditure. Ah, dear. People only join it when I'm in it. It's running all the time. And the suspension in... One of the worst things in AC1 is its suspension. It's super weird. You really notice it on the Nordschleife. How the cars are not like... They're not settled to the track, if that makes sense. It's really weird. Never really understood why suspension is seemingly quite a difficult thing for Sims to get right. I mean, Evo's suspension and stuff seems alright. It's just dull. Force feedback's very dull. The handling's very dull. We were playing it yesterday. It's just overly placid to drive, and then it doesn't... I mean, they're going to... Supposedly they're doing new tyres and everything, so we'll see what happens in the next update, but... It's better than iRacing, Evo. We were playing iRacing for like 5 hours and then did an hour of Evo. And Evo's definitely... Like, the cars don't get stuck over the limit, basically, so on balance, it's better than iRacing. This looks fantastic. Generally, the handling is better than iRacing in Evo. Force feedback's worse than iRacing, no? In a sense, it's better than LMU, yeah. LMU's more just that it's... Well, actually, I think the tyres are more interesting in LMU, but I don't know. LMU's a bit weird, to be honest. The force feedback's terrible in LMU as well, so it's hard to really judge. But LMU feels a bit stale to drive. A large part of that is the force feedback. LMU's just got is good online structure and good net code, so LMU's a fun game. Fixed setups or default setups that are quite good. It's alright. Yeah, it's great if you like pointless vibrations and aggressive suspension compression feel. I think I'll save the setup I'm running. The setup I'm running now is like a good sort of baseline setup. It's a little bit understeery, but we need to make this the default setup for Nord's RSR. Yeah, I think with Jake, well, I use a separate computer for streaming, so I'm recording at 4K resolution on this PC, but then we use a separate computer that encodes for Twitch and YouTube, and yeah, you will get a performance hit, but it should be relatively passable. Like if you did 1080p live stream, should be alright. It's depending on your graphics card and your processor and things. Yeah, if even with how Evo is now, if it had like a solid online structure, I think people would really get into it, because then it's just gameplay. Like, obviously Evo's a beta or an early access, but that's kind of beside the point to the complaints about it. But a game is dependent on gameplay, and most people don't notice the physics in driving games. They don't really care that much. As long as it's generally passable, it's all about the actual gameplay. And so as soon as you've got online racing, that's gameplay. The big issue with Evo is there's no... Obviously it's early access, but they put stuff in early access like AI. It was terrible. They put time trial stuff in it. It's terrible. And there's no multiplayer. So they shouldn't have put any of that stuff in the early access. They should have just had bare tracks for hot lapping with 1 or 2 cars as a sort of preview of the game engine, with them then very clearly saying, this is the underlying brand new engine, we're still optimizing it, you know, we're still doing physics work. But because they showed some stuff that was terrible, that's the problem. But yeah, people are playing driving sims as video games. So you need gameplay, and that's what people are paying to play something. Oh my goodness, the physics do not work through that. You know you've done too much sim racing when a Porsche RSR feels slow. I remember when we first drove this car, I was like, oh my god, it's so quick. I was thinking about this with the Star Mazda in iRacing. It was one of the first Formula cars that I really drove a lot in a simulator. And I used to think, oh, that's a really fast car, it's going really quick. And now, even on Nordschleifer in iRacing, because that's what they're running on the Ringmeister, I'm like, oh, actually, it's really not that quick. Been conditioned. So definitely, racing sims definitely condition you to speed. I don't feel that fast in real cars. We're used to. It's probably how like skiers. Here we go, skiing. How they get used to those super G. That's something I don't think I'd ever get used to that. But those super G courses, ski slopes, are insane. And those guys pwn it flat out. So they must just get used to it. I'm sure it still feels quite fast, but they must just get used to it. It's bonkers. I'm pretty sure this is the exact same mesh as iRacing, because it has the bumps in exactly the same place. It's slightly different curbs, but everything, the little undulations and details are identical to iRacing's. It's quite interesting. I do note that Nürburgring does license. It does license its scan. I don't think the companies individually scan it. Nice racing. Let's see the results here. Well done, Timur Cat, Storbart, Frederico, all cheating. All cheating. Well, I didn't have the default setup, so obviously cheated. What tyres were you using? Did you have were you using the softs? Or the mediums? Bet they have the soft tyres on. Absolute scammers. Tyre scam. Great tyre controversy, that. Typical guys. No? Cheating? Just go and put another set. But you were cheating? Obviously aeroboying. No one beats me using the default setup on pace alone. Are you mental? I can't believe that you would suggest that. Right, you ready? Service back. I obviously had more fuel. I was carrying all the viewers. There's at least 50 people watching, so you know that's quite a lot of ballast. Given the average weight of our viewers is about 120 kilograms, so you know, we have, out of all the live streamers, we have one of the heaviest user bases. We pride ourselves on our heavy user base. Look at this. I'm gonna make the alerts bigger. Is that big enough? Can you stay? No, too light. Too light. And also you're fit and healthy, so you're not welcome here. Like, these people that ride bicycles for fun and work, actually, I'll be honest, you actually make me sick. It's just disgusting. The fact that you would voluntarily ride a bicycle for fun as well. Aliasing in AC on the Quest 3. So Silver Moon or Milky Moon or I don't know what it's called, has a TAA mod and DLSS mod for AC, which you can use in VR, I think, which might actually help for AA. If you want to use the bog standard, make sure your shadows aren't too high resolution in the shadow setting. Then super sampling is probably the best way, but AC is a bit prone to shimmer. Bog standard. AVC, so just because there's thousands of mods doesn't mean you need to use them all. So look, I'm not saying it's a good mod, Xstance, for the graphics. I'm just saying it's an option you can try. The other thing is just super sampling to get rid of aliasing, but then that's obviously takes a lot of processing power. No, you can't join Yoko. You're not allowed. You can try. Server's called Gamer Muscle. The password is T in capital letters, but you're going to need to get shader patch installed. Well, then you can use that at Xstance. Why don't you just suggest that to them? Turning down the headset sharpening could help reduce aliasing. So Quest 3, I don't know if you're using VR desktop or Quest Link. If you're using VR desktop, you can turn down the sharpening filter. Because that can cause quite a lot of aliasing. And if you're using the link cable, turning down the sharpening on the link can help it look less aliases, but then it'll be a compromise between aliasing and sharpening. Yeah, so you could just turn the sharpening filter down in the... Hang on. So... Well, that's not working. There you go. On this, which you can't see because the screen's... Well, I can't make that bigger, so... But on this... Actually, we can do it on this, I think. Oh, this is not working. Oh. What on earth? So, well, so for fence shadows, that's mapping settings you can change. So here we go. For this setting with the link cable in the debug tool, you can reduce link sharpening here. You can disable it, or you can change these. But you might find that helps reduce the popping. Yeah, there's so for stuff like shimmer from transparent surfaces like fences and things, that can be mapping, texture filtering, anastrophic filtering. Sometimes running a lower anastrophic filtering setting can reduce aliasing. Normally it doesn't. Normally you want as high anastrophic filtering setting as possible, but in some cases, depending on the game and the situation, different anastrophe can reduce aliasing. My favourite BTC season, Bourbon? I don't know. I can't remember. I haven't seen it for years. Yeah, 5090 can normally manage really high resolution. It's normally the CPU's the bottleneck. Especially with something like AC1. So super sampling should actually be quite doable. I don't know why it's so hard to do super sampling in Windows with older game engines. Like the VR headsets, you can just do it on the headset. It's fine. Just renders high. Like, but you need that the VR compositor but it's weird how the NVIDIA super sample options that NVIDIA has are super janky. Like it creates a virtual Windows resolution. It's like a really weird way of doing it. I guess it's just because the games were programmed with the VR support, so they separate the UI from the rest of the renderer, so it works. But yeah, a big one for aliasing as well in AC1 is running lower shadow resolution. Also, turning down the shadow transparency so the shadows are not as harsh. That can help. Somewhere in Content Manager. There's two ways of doing it. You can do it in shader patch in the pure settings. In the game whilst you're driving, you can change down the global brightness. But in shader patch, there's also a setting specifically for shadows. Shadow opacity. Even though that's not how shadows work, but it does let you adjust them. But if you go to light config within the game, I secretly swapped the engine out with the RSS, the RSS car, the prototype, the 90s. Oh no, it's the 1970s Formula car by RSS. It happened to have similar RPMs and sounds a lot better than the default sound for this car. I put a Formula 1 engine in my car. Better not be aero buoying going on here. I'm detecting aero buoying. We have to kneecap all these aero boys. Right, who's aero buoying? What? Whoever's in pole, share the setup. Clearly aero buoying going on here. I don't need to, because the default force feedback in AC is totally fine. I don't. Why spend time doing custom force feedback? It's completely fine. Tells you exactly what the cars are doing by default in AC. So there's no need. Tell you what needs new force feedback. LMU. I'll try it, but default AC force feedback tells you everything you need to know about the car to drive. Bloody hell! Rob T is just tipped 777.
AC streams with Sebo cynical philosopher are the best.
Thank you very much, Rob T. Really appreciate that. Super generous. Sieben. Wunderbar. Tell you what's not good about these streams. Bloody people cheating and beating me. I've had enough. I'm gonna make a cup of tea and I'm gonna go and find out these addresses. I've got the server. I know their IP addresses. I'm gonna find these people. I'm gonna take them out. Share the setup, you shit. Right, Massey Bar, share your setup. If you're beating me on skill, it's unacceptable. Absolute unacceptable. Post it in the Discord. Hang on, let me give you a link to a Discord. Copy link, invite people. Here you go. Hello, NF650R. Share the setup. Massey Bar. Share your setup, otherwise we're going to ban you. I'm going to put ballast on his car. Yeah, share it in the game. I'm going to put ballast on him right now, so he has to. Right, you ready? I don't know how to do this. There's a command for it. Here we go. I'm going to put 50 kilograms of ballast. Just put 50 kilograms of ballast on his car. Let's put 100. He's now 100. He's now got 100 kilograms of ballast. Can I put like 500? Let's see. Here we go. 500 kilograms. Let's see his view. Oh, he's stopped. He's stopped. Oh, let's take it off. Hang on. He needs to share the setup. Let's try. Let's find someone that's driving around and see what happens. Here we go. You ready, guys? Let's see what happens. 500 ballast. Who's it going to be? Are you ready? Are we ready? Let's see if we can notice it. Here we go. Here we go. Should we do it when he's coming up to the corner? Let's do it here. Right, he won't notice it. Right, here we go. Well, I've applied 500 kilograms of ballast. Let's see if it works. Was that the... Hang on. Olivia. Right, here we go. Let's see. Right, here we go. Let's see if it does it to him. Just before a corner. You ready? 500 kilograms of ballast. Get ready. Oh, no, he still made the car. Okay, let's try 900. Five tons. 5 tons of ballast. He's got it. let's take that off. Oh, he's going again. Oh, so good. Oh, it's so good. There we go, Jamal. Right, time to mess with him. Let's put 10 tons. 10 tons of ballast. Where should we deploy it? Oh no. There we go. His wheels. His wheels went through the car. Oh, I'll put that back off. Oh, that's so good. There we go. Reset. Oh no, that's so stupid. Oh, amazing. It's best. It's too much power. This is. If I was God, I'd just do this to people at random. Maybe that's what black ice is. Right, have you said the setup? Who's set the fastest lap time here? Hang on, maybe can we go minus ballast? Hang on. Minus 10,000. Minus 10,000. His car. He can't even drive. Oh no, I've lost the server page. Oh no. What is going on? Oh no, it's gone. Right, let's reset that. Ah, so dumb. There you go. Right, fixed it. Okay, that's good. Needed that. Okay, no more ballasting. So stupid. Share the setup, guys. Share the setup. Oh, we go. Tim or Cat shared it. Thank you. Now put it on the thing. Oh dear, that was so good. Oh dear, so dumb. Amazing. Best feature of AC, that. Shut up, Sal. Right. Let's do some quality. I won't ballast other people. I'm going to put ballast on my own car. Let's see what this feels like. Hang on. Right. 700. Oh, this is good though, because we can now bot people. Oh my god, my force feedback's gone crazy heavy. The car's really heavy. Oh my goodness. Ah. Right, let's 5 tons. Ah. Pluto car. Pluto racing. Oh, we could do a race. We could set everyone's ballast super light. This is what it's like driving a Radical as an American. Right. 60,000 kilo, 60 tons. Ah! I'm too heavy. I've fallen through the floor. So if you put 60 tons in a radical, you fall through the floor. There you go. It's good to know. Oh dear, that's so dumb. Can't believe we've never done that before. Oh, this is good because we can see the lap times of people. I didn't even realise we had this setting page on the server, so we can bot people, which is nice. Ah, I want to try the negative. Minus 200 kilograms. Okay, minus 300. At what point do you get? Oh, it's very light. If we hit the curves, will we start flying? It's very light. Oh, the speed! hang on. Minus 800. Ah! Oh, no. We're gone. Oh no! Oh, I broke the game. I broke the game. Oh, there we go. We're back. Oh, my wheel.
Mind the gap.
No. Ow. Bloody hell. Okay. Why is it doing that? Oh, he's broke the car. He's broken it. We're going to have to rejoin the server. Okay. Well, good to know. It's good that I experimented on myself before anyone else. Oh dear, so dumb. There we go. All's good. Perfect. Well, that's good. Yeah, so we can. That's good. If we have drivers that are really quick, we can just add ballast to them. Yeah, it's good fun. It went really well. You never know what excitement you'll have in Assetto Corsa. Casual 10 tons of ballast. Can you imagine what that would look like? Even if it was like plutonium bricks, you'd have to fill the whole car up with it. Actually, maybe not. Maybe plutonium would be... It'd still be quite big though. It'd still be like a big slab. Right. So plutonium, ChatGPT coming into... Oh, it's close to gold. 25 backpacks, 3.5 bathtubs. Yeah, so 25 rucksacks would be 10 tons of plutonium, but it says gold's a similar density, so. Well, that's just business, isn't it, Jet Red? That's how it works. Oh, man. That was a good laugh. Radical pay. Well, it's promotion for like URD did it, and then yeah, Radical maybe wanted to use it in one of their facilities or something, and so they were like, okay, I don't know, probably something along those lines, I'd imagine. It's quite funny. Like the thing is, unless you're like an esports driver, AC's more than good enough for like the general envelope of car handling, and for like training drivers how to like not spin, not do anything stupid. AC's more than good enough, so that's why it's perfect for stuff like Janetta or Oh, is it? Is that a free car, CKTL? You're wiping off tears. We can maybe make it as a video. That was pretty stupid. Yeah, this is the problem. Is I don't mind paying for it myself, right? But the reality is other people that are playing AC generally don't have much disposable income, or they're not going to be able to race it online, so they're not going to get the value from it that you would get relative to other stuff, even if it's really good. So, actually, maybe for AC1, the problem is as soon as like what you really need is actually a subscription service in a sense. That just bundles all mods, all pay mods into a single subscription. But I don't know how you then distribute that to all the the subscription. I mean, really what you need, for driving sims, what you need is the ranked racing, and you need to make sure that you've got, whenever you run paid cars, you run them in a grid with free cars. So, so that you can always race in the race with the paid cars if you've got a free car. So that means the paid car drivers get people to race against, and the free drivers get people to race against. And then the free drivers will see the paid cars, and they'll be like, that'd be good fun to try, so I might buy it. Just like, I'm only going to do it tonight, but I might as well buy it because it'd be fun to try. So I'll pay like £1, £2 or whatever. It's well worth it for the evening of racing, right? And for that week, that paid car is going to be running for at least that week. So well, I'm going to get for £2 or £3, I'm going to get at least £3 of value out of that paid car, but I don't have to buy it. I could buy it, but I don't have to, right? And that's what you need. And then the end result would be is that more people would be able to race, and more people would actually buy the stuff because it'd be advertised. And that's kind of how it works with or can work if you have like the GT3 thing, where it's like on iRacing, for example, people be like, I've got a Porsche, I've got the track, bit bored of racing the Porsche, I think I'll buy another GT3 car. So they end up buying like 4 GT3 cars. I know, it's that structural component of sims that's the thing that sim devs have found hard to crack. But I think the reason it's been difficult for them is because it's so hard to make a driving sim in the first place. So much work that then doing those systems on top of it is a whole nother thing. But it's actually, I would say, actually vital. It's as important as the game being drivable. That's why LMU, like the online service in LMU, is more valuable than the physics or anything else with that game. Because the fact that you, with LMU, you're like, oh, I will get a race at least once an hour that will be okay-ish. So it's worth buying because I can play the game. I don't know if it remembers the ballast for people, because it'd be quite good to if you're doing a race, if you could have it so we could auto bop people that were too good. Or we can put negative ballast so we can negative bop people. That could be good actually. And actually could work really well. Applying negative ballast to the slower drivers on the grid. Yeah, if you donate, you get negative ballast. pay to win on the Game of Muscle server. Panda's trying to join my server. They need to make sure they've got shader patch. They need to make sure it's not in the race, and they need to make sure they've downloaded the car or track that we're running. You might need to filter, make sure that the filters are not on. So you show passworded servers, maybe. What's weird with driving sims as well is why not have like fun stuff with multiplayer? So you could have a server mode where it runs a race, and every time you win, you get ballast put on your, like it's a server that runs a race, like race followed by race followed by 10 minutes of quali and then another race, right? Just sprint races, 12-minute race, 10-minute quali, right? Why not then have it so that if you win the race, your car gets ballast put on it, right? Because you've won the race, and the ballast is visible to everyone else. It's like a joke. It's like luggage on the vehicle, or like a concrete block, or I don't know, an elephant, whatever. But you can start off with something small, but the more you win, the more visible ballast you have on your vehicle that other people can see in the race. So when you do multiplayer, the objective is to be the driver that's winning the race with the most ballast, and it'll be like a pride thing of like, I'm winning the races, and look at all the shit I've got on my car, and I'm still beating you guys. You suck. So everyone else would see that car with all the ballast, they'd be like, Jesus Christ, they're still beating us, right? So there would be a reason for that person to go back to that server, because they'd be like, lol, look at me beating everyone with all the ballast, and it would look funny, it'd be entertaining for live streams, and it'd be a fun challenge trying to beat them. And that all that requires is a server ballast setting and a 3D models for like 20 different models, which is something someone can do in a week, in a day, you know. And that would be like something that would be a really catchy and funny thing to have in a racing game, and compelling to make people want to be like, oh look, I'm better, you know. But yeah, that's far too creative for sim racing. It would be unrealistic, guys. But it's a genius idea. It's it wouldn't be like the point would be it's a bit of a joke. It's like it'd be a fun thing that you could do in like Gran Turismo or something as a fun mode. You know, I'm not saying that's the whole game. It's like the sense of humour that who's the guy that does the Metal Gear Solid games? Admitting it's a video game and doing stuff that's funny but fun and a bit stupid, right? That sort of Japanese ridiculous, yeah, Kojima type thing. It's that kind of humour, which I think is actually very suited to racing games. But do you know what? If Rensport put that in, but if Rensport got did an unlicensed car that's like a, you know, some like generic vehicle, it could be an MX-5 or something, it could be a licensed car, but let's say they did it with an unlicensed car and they put it into a mode in Rensport with the ranked multiplayer, or with the thing I was saying where it keeps, you know, when you basically you can keep it from session to session, and if you lose a race you start losing your ballast, right? So the idea is to keep the ballast at the highest level. I could see that being something that people would be like, lol, I'll get the game, give it a go, and then they might drive the other content as well, you know what I mean? Maybe it's too far out there. Actually, no, I'm an idiot. Sim racers just want GT3 cars. I can pretend to be a GT3 driver. I'm in a Porsche. Everything has to be serious, because part of it is that delusional sim thing, isn't it? That Sims are monetising, is people. There's a proportion of people playing simulators because they want to be delusionally pretending that they're driving real cars, which is fine. That's like, it's immersive, but some people, that's the entirety of it, and they can't see past that. No, but no, BeamNG doesn't have any racing. Structured racing. Wreckfest is probably the closest thing that's got decent handling and actual fun. The thing is, back in the 90s and 2000s, you actually got a lot more of this fun racing, even in games that were trying to be, realistic. They had as realistic a physics as they could do at the time, but they would also do fun. Big Red Racing, for example, that actually has, you know, it wasn't trying to be a simulator, but they were like, right, you know, it had physics, it had like different stuff in it, but they're like, right, well, let's just do silly stuff with it. But yeah, Wreckfest is actually quite realistic in many ways. Wreckfest actually has more realistic throttle input than Assetto Corsa. The only really unrealistic thing about Wreckfest is it has an automatic spin correction to it. Like the car's auto stabilise basically, and you can't turn that off. Obviously, it doesn't have like the most advanced literal physics, but the general driving approach is not really that bad. Well, see, Katie, it's because you need to learn how to drive. If you can't appreciate driving with your driver's feet sticking out the bonnet, I don't know what to say. You're clearly just miserable. It's always a skill issue. Anytime someone disagrees with me, I just say skill issue. You know. it's not. I don't think it's made Sims worse for that reason. I think what happened is, when you have a direct drive wheel, the developer doesn't need to try to be as creative in force feedback to give the player details. So rather than a developer going, hang on, how can we make this simulator give enough detail on G25 and stuff, and then accommodate that. Instead of doing that, they're just like, oh well, the DD. It's the same problem with the graphics cards. You would think a 5090 would mean that developers could make more advanced graphics, and they will do stuff better, and it'll be more optimized, and it'll run better. But what happens instead is the developer goes, oh, graphics cards are faster. We don't need to optimize as much. Oh, we can use DLSS, so we don't need to. We'll just make the assets really detailed, and then we don't need to think about using more optimized forms of lighting and trickery. We will use just literal, more direct literal forms of lighting, which arguably can look better, but they know it's not going to run as well. But they're like, well, it's all right. DLSS will sort it out. Dynamic resolution will sort it out. So that's what happened with DD wheels, is that you have LMU, which has absolutely terrible force feedback, but it's borderline passable on a direct drive wheel. And so people are like, oh yeah. And the average consumer, like with the graphics cards, the bulk of consumers don't know. Like they don't realise that there could be other ways of doing it, because they don't know that there are other ways of doing things. So the average consumer is just like, just buy the better graphics card. It's buy the faster, the stronger direct drive wheel. It's up to you to just stop being a poor. You just need to buy the right thing. And actually, your average consumer enjoys the idea of spending money on something that makes something better. So because they're like, well, I've got good value out of buying this. I bought this graphics card and it's made the game run better, and so I've enjoyed spending money to get a given result. They actually prefer that to if it was by default ran better, due to how consumerism works. It's really weird. Yeah, it all sort of ties into that reward process of purchasing, and what's a trained purchasing response that everyone gets. It's sort of it's something that's sort of taught to people at a young age. The sort of purchase rewards response. Is it better to get better trail braking? Well, you can trail brake perfectly fine without a load cell, so that's a whole myth that's being created by sim racing influencers. You can set up a non-load cell pedal to actually drive perfectly fine and to be at alien pace. But sure, if you've got a load cell pedal, it gives you more freedom to set it up, and often, generally speaking, you can set them up to be less sensitive, which then gives you more input range, which then makes it easier to be precise on braking. But it's not actually to do with load cells exactly. It's more to do with the basic quality of the pedals and how you can set them up. But then the trail braking, you can trail brake using any pedals. So the whole trail braking thing is like a meme that's been created by driver coach YouTube influencers. Trail braking is just how you drive, but it's been turned into this proceduralized process. It's so stupid. he beat us. S-Bin man. Good driving. But yeah, generally speaking, if you've got like, so it's more to do with the pedals you have could be shit pedals. It's not because it's necessarily load cell pedals or different pedals. If you have shit pedals, you've got shit pedals, right? And it turns out, so you can, there's load cell pedals that are shit, and there's budget pedals that are shit, and they're shit for different reasons. So, let me do the results here. Massey Bar with the win, Timor Cat second, Ace Rimmer third. Well done, guys. So the default Logitech pedals, even the pedals that come with the Logitech Pro, are shit. They feel terrible. They're inconsistent to move. You can lubricate them and get them to. You can still do fast laps with them, but they're really like hard to get to set them up to be as precise as possible. But yeah, like Fanatec CSL V2 load cell pedals, totally fine, and they're like cheap pedals. What were the pedals? Like there's loads of bog standard load cell pedals. The Moser bog standard load cell pedals. The Simagic bog standard load cell pedals. Who's the Nakon DD wheel? The pedals that they've got with that, they were totally fine. As long basically pedals where you can just set it up so that you can push pressure quickly, and then you can use a range of force to then modulate the braking to be precise on the braking. That will be good enough. And then some people, if you've got a brake that requires more force, or you know it's less sensitive, so you're pushing it quite hard, the less sensitive it is, or the harder the force, the more range there is in pressure for you to then modulate the brake. And so the idea would be you push it hard, and then you can come off that pressure, and you're mostly just relieving the pressure. If you're braking properly, you're braking hard, maybe a tiny bit of pressure modulation through the corner to rotate the back a bit, but mostly you're then going to be just coming off the brake. And so if it's hard and you're then coming off, it's easier to be smoother. But the degree to which people talk about it, and the degree to which people review pedals and go on about it is bollocks. It's all bollocks. Like, the individual reviewers are not lying, and they are making valid points, and there are differences. And a load cell, for simplicity's sake, generally is better than non-load cell pedals, right? But it doesn't matter that much. It really, on the grand scheme of things, most sim racers are over 3 to 4 seconds off the pace. They could be playing with a gamepad, you know. And then outside of that, different pedals, you might yourself happen to just prefer a certain pedal feel, or you might have learnt with a certain pedal feel. So that might be how you want to set a pedal up, because you happen to like how that feels. But from an objective, practical perspective, if you're spending 500 hours sim racing, let's say you're spending 150 hours, which wouldn't be an unreasonable amount of time to learn how to be at within a second of pace with a given car on a simulator, you're going to spend at least 200 hours driving, right? You would learn any brake pedal. If you spent 200 hours, it's like if you learn how to play on a piano and then go to a keyboard, you'll be able to play both reasonably well if you spend hundreds of hours on them. No, Chedhead. It's like fishing rods. It's like fishing rods. If you're not looking to be a pro angler, and even then it probably doesn't matter, if you buy like a run-of-the-mill, bog-standard, acceptable fishing rod, you go fishing in the right place, you probably have a good time fishing. It doesn't matter if your rod was like not the ultimate rod of whatever. You know, you're having fun fishing, that's all that matters. That's the main thing, right? You know, I'm sure there's billions of YouTube videos on fishing rods and which is the best fishing rod. the which fishing rod has the highest load capacity. Let's put all these fishing rods in vices and test how much they can bend. Oh look, this fishing rod bends at a 3-degree more angle than this other composite fishing rod, but this fishing rod, it weighs 300 grams less than this one, so it gives marginally less arm fatigue. So consider that arm fatigue if that's something that you're concerned about. Also, if you happen to be a foot smaller, you might prefer this semi-composite fishing rod versus a fully composite fishing rod because it's more accommodating to people that are a foot smaller, but it does cost 3% more. So if you want to save money, you might want to consider this rod. But, you know, if you're buying this type of reel and you're fishing in this situation, say sea fishing over river fishing, remember, seawater's salty, so you need to consider the lubrication of your reel and the fact that a salty conditions can damage the reel, so you might want to also consider that and how that would affect a metallic rod versus a composite rod. But if you're doing lake fishing, that doesn't matter. But keep it all in mind before you make your purchase, and at the end of the day, use my affiliate link. Are you so stupid? None of it matters. It's all pointless. It's all ridiculous. It's all beside the point of, people don't have enough time to go fishing, or in the case of driving simulators, it's all beside the point that the sims themselves are bollocks. So, to answer your question, yes, I highly recommend the load cell pedals that you can buy with my affiliate link. Oh, well, you need to be careful with the lubricants because you wouldn't want to use the wrong one. I prefer this brand. We'll add your username sticker to my Ferrari. Ah, dear, guys. Not to say that I'm cynical at all when it comes to the commercialisation of things. It's not affected me at all. I've stayed calm, and I think it's all for the better. So there's that. I need a cup of tea. I'm gonna put another track up, guys. Who do we need to put ballast on? That's the main thing. Hang on, is it Thursday today? I need to go to the shop as well. We do. I know what we can do. Are you ready? New server, guys. Get in there. It's just refreshing. I'll put some ballast on you, Ryan, just to make you feel better. Well, I kind of shop it every other day because I normally end up walking past shops. Hang on, I'm going to change the car. Forget that. Forget that. Don't join. Don't join. We've driven this car before. Don't join, guys. I'm going to put a different car on. Bean patty restock. Here we go. Server's up now. Can join now. Can join. It's safe to join. Wow. When it finally loads, server can be a bit slow to load sometimes. Go. These are some sensible wheels. Look how big the rear wheels are on this car. It's ridiculous. I don't know why my field of view is so low. I played BF1 when it came out. The maps were a bit small. Oh, the brakes on this car are terrible. Maybe they need warming up. Maybe we should have gone for the Lotus. The old Lotus is good. Yeah, put our feet through the floor. To blip the throttle on the downshift. Fastest laps of all times. What are you guys going to respond to that? I'm going to put ballast on myself. Fail. Bloody iRacing's tyre model. I mean, that's typical. That's typical of iRacing's tyres, just giving out. Do you know what I mean? Force feedback as well, useless. Bloody iRacing. Oh, engine braking to the max. Engine braking slop drift. No, it's ridiculous. We need to ban him. I'm going to have to put 10 kilograms of ballast on him. Obviously cheating again. It's obviously set up. We were 4/10 up before that happened. Absolute petrol scam. It's 1970s after all. Got to queue up at the fuel pump now. Bloody hell. Absolute scam. With Greta Thunberg, with Thunberg the car. At least someone's happy. This car actually has a sail on it. This car was designed by Greta Thunberg's parents. They were trying to build a boat, but they weren't very clever, so they put a sail on the car. You know, I tried. But then Ferrari snuck an engine into it, and that's why they made Greta as a protest. Pretty genius. I'm listening to the engine, it's all I need to hear. It's all about the engine. Oh, beach! Beach! It's not helping! Beach! Son of the beach! Son of the beach. Peach. He's just really passionate about Super Mario. I don't know, it's just where it is. It's where the widget lives. We could move the widget somewhere else. It's a nice, easy. It's like a nice, relaxing car. You know, get a good bit of air in your hair. So, yeah, just a pleasant drive. Thank you. Dankeschön. Entschuldigung. That was out of fear. It wasn't voluntary. It was like, I'm going to die if I don't get out of the way. It was like a Russian politician jumping out of a window. Right, are you guys using a setup? If you guys are using a setup and I put it on the car and I'm instantly faster, we're gonna give you some ballast as punishment. We're gonna be handing out the ballast punishment. Oh yeah, hang on, doesn't this car have a turbo? Can't remember. No, this one doesn't. The Lotus has the turbo in it, I think. We need 1980s Formula 1 cars, actually. These are 1970s. On Nigel Mansell's car. Right, share your setup. Ryan, which setup are you using? Share it, otherwise you're banned. We're a second off the pace, it's unacceptable. Give a 10-ton setup. Come on. Come on. Jimmy Turbo, Ryan. I'm going to have to give him the zero gravity setup. It's... gave him minus 10 tons of ballast. He's got Shay set up. Otherwise you get negative. Otherwise you get 0 ballasted. Oh man, that's so funny. Just the way I gave him minus 500 kilograms and then I gave him minus 10,000. His car went orbital. Share the setup. Come on. Oh man, that's so stupid. Where is it? Where have you, share it in the chat, Jimmy. Where's he shared it? Oh, he shared it here. Okay, fine. Thank you. The thing is, I think if you set the ballast to minus, it doesn't make your wheel go mental. It just makes it go really light. If you set the ballast to positive and you've got a direct drive wheel, it's mental. Right, here we go. Let's see if Jimmy Turbo was cheating. Oh, this is a well good way to get setups off people. If they don't give you the setup, you give them 0 gravity. This is how law should be enforced in real life. We just found the ultimate way to make sim racing just. Yeah. If you break the law, 0 gravity, off you go into space. Anyone that causes too many crashes, 0 gravity, the 0G punishment. Triumph on gravity. It's like, what is it in The Expanse? What do they call it? Where they put them in the airlock. We're spacing them. Spaced. Oh, they're so good. Here we go, let's see if he was cheating. Aero Boy test. The ultimate, this will confirm if he was Aero Boying. Oh, it's looking pretty Aero Boy-y already, I have to say. Oh, we made a huge mistake, but we're still benefiting from the Aero Boy. Oh, what a disgrace. Even with a 3/10 mistake, we're still on pace. Absolutely disgusting. Bloody hell. Probably doing slightly higher gearing now. Aero Boy disaster. Absolutely disgusting. Instant 2 seconds, and actually half a second if you ignore the mistake. Absolutely disgusting there from Jimmy Turbo. Aero Boy confirmation. Typical guy. Absolutely, that's disgraceful, isn't it? Absolutely disgraceful. And he even had the wrong gearing on his Aero Boy setup, so it's even more embarrassing. 5th gear's wrong. I'm all up a bit higher. Noob. Terrible Aero Boy setup. We'll let him off. We'll let him off because he had bad gearing. Fast Boy, yeah, but you know, they've got to share it. They shouldn't have to be spaced. Anti-gravitied. Here we go. Yeah, exactly. That was genius. The time trial setup theft. Hang on, what's going on with the wind here? Look at this. Boing, boing, boing. That's a safety hazard. It's going to take off. It's a tarp, yeah. It's a gazebo. Oh, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, what a start. Ah, no. We're coming for you, Jimmy. We're coming for you. Revenge of the Aero Boy. Don't think you can get away with your little cheeky setup. He's still traumatised from when he had zero gravity. For all he knows, I've got it bound to a macro. How is he so quick? Did he send me a shifty Aero Boy adjusting tricky setup? How is he so fast? No one brands hatches me. Ah, the grass is brands hatched me. Ah, the grass brands hatched me. Oh, I can't get back on the track. Bloody hell. Ah, no, we put a quarter of a rear tyre on the lawn and we got sucked off the track. Absolute suck off that. Grassed. Magnetic grass pull. Can't believe it, guys. We'll never recover. How's everyone so quick on this all of a sudden? When did everyone get good at AC? Oh, drift entry. Getaway driver moves through there. It's a new line. No, I don't know. I've lost my Brands Hatch mojo. You don't lose that much time with the clutch. Only a little bit. I had to give myself negative ballast. They're actually a few tenths slower than me, but they're at pace, so it's just harder to catch up. A lot of time is on braking in this car, which I'm struggling with because the braking is really bad on this car. It's not very responsive on the brakes, so I actually have to brake earlier and harder than what I'm used to. Good driving. Nice. Sadaba Sadadu. Active. 5 minutes left here. It's funny because like the top 5 in this race are similar to like iRacing top split pace. You have to do so much more in AC though to drive quickly than iRacing. In iRacing, you just have to be mega smooth and mega preemptive, and yeah, it's just about being super smooth. See, about being smooth. That's why this car has a circular steering wheel. We've just worked out why this car has a circular steering wheel. But yeah, in AC, to be fast, you actually have to modulate the throttle way more and work with the steering. It's a lot harder. It's a lot more active. It's less about. Well, you have to still be precise, and you're rewarded for being smooth, but you also have to balance, which you just don't do in iRacing. Yeah, the grip comes and goes faster in AC, so you have to do a lot more actions per corner. iRacing, it's like one move per corner with a bit of brake and a bit of throttle modulation, but generally it's just like trail brake, turn, you know. So like with this, you're constantly trying to get more throttle on, and then when you put more throttle, you then have to turn out of the corner, and as you go over bumps and undulations, that's then causing you to have to modulate that to then maintain as much power as possible. You just don't do that in iRacing, really. Like the tyres are, even in the longitudinal grip, the grip comes and goes so slowly that by the time you modulated the throttle, the moment would have already have passed. But yeah, a large part of it is to do with if the grip, the speed at which the grip comes and goes. If the grip can come and go faster, it means that there can be more actions per corner. It's like if you look at dirt racing, for example, it's much more like a sort of iRacing way of driving, where it's like a slide per corner. I mean, the driver is going to turn the steering wheel, for sure, to balance the vehicle, to not spin. But it's like the grip does not necessarily come and go quickly, so it's a slide through the corner rather than a tight wobble. That's what makes AC much more engaging to drive, in a sense. But then iRacing is nice and relaxing to drive as long as you stay under the limit. Leaderboard is Bcast Tools leaderboard. It's part of it's a thing called Streaming Suite. It's actually for moderating races and stuff, or live streaming race events. But Bcast Tools, it'll come up. Oh, we still got a lap to go. Why are you stopping? You have to be careful using the leaderboard app, because if you click on a driver's name, it will send you to their car. It's not really designed to be used whilst racing, I don't think, but it works. Yeah, I need to do some LFM in AC. I'm going to have to go to the shops after this race because they shut soon. I need to get some food. Otherwise, I'll starve to death. You wouldn't want that. Have to go to Tesco's. I think that's. I don't think they do them in Mindshumi. They just. Lidl's have just changed suppliers on a bunch of stuff, and some of the stores have rolled over, and some haven't. Actually, they might do in the larger one. I'll have a look. But I'm not really eating pizza, but that does sound good. I'll definitely try it. Oh, good racing, guys. Jimmy Turbo clearly cheating. I think we need to put perma ballast on him. So Jimmy with the win, Ace Rimmer second, Olivia third, Dr. Lomac fourth, myself fifth, Jamel sixth, Burby seventh, Timo Cat eighth, Timo Cat ninth, Best Sparker eighth, Koshel in 10th. Good driving, guys. Good fun. Really good fun racing. The ballast thing was hilarious. It's good that I found a way to do. We can quickly ban people as well. I found the thing for that. It was all there. I didn't realise. That's all right. Career's life. It's good fun racing, guys. I've got to go to the shops, so yeah. But it's I can leave this server up if you guys want to keep racing. I could. Do you want me to put the server on anything if you guys want to keep driving? I could put the Lotus Exos at Bonacabra if you want. That's a good fun combo. Or if you want Pagani Zonda R at Road America. I'll put the Bonacabra one on. It's good fun. People want to drive that. Right. Yeah, I'll catch you guys soon, hopefully. So I need to go to the shops before they close. Whew. Wow, Jimmy, you're banned. I'm afraid we're having to ban you for beating us. I'm going to buy some non-alcoholic beer, I think, as well. Need some nice cool drinks. Right, I'll catch you guys soon. Let's raid someone here with our 5. Right, how stupid is this? AC is so much more fun to drive and so much more interesting and interesting content and different tracks. But you'll get like 20 viewers on Twitch because nobody is interested in it because it's not bloody ranked racing. It's not GT3 cars. Sim racers are the worst people, honestly. They're genuinely the dullest people ever. Oh, we'll raid Muck Ralph. He's a nice guy. Good guy. German streamer. Trending. Who knows? Maybe Evo will save the day. I don't know. But we'll keep playing AC. It's good fun. Don't really care. Yeah, take care, guys.